1975 was packed with disco grooves, silky soul, soft pop smashes, and AM radio earworms. But a handful of records rose above the noise and became songs we still know by heart. Here are 10 songs from 1975 we'll never forget. Number 10, I'm Not in Love by 10cc. In the summer of 1975, British studios hummed with the inventive spirit of 10cc as they painstakingly layered vocals into what would become an era-defining ballad. I'm Not in Love pushed the limits of analog recording. The group's groundbreaking technique stacked hundreds of vocal tracks to create those famously lush backgrounds. So don't forget it. The song's sleek, dreamy atmosphere reflects both technical mastery and a heart-worn undercurrent, earning it a spot at number 2 on the charts in its release year. Each listen pulls audiences into a nearly hypnotic blend of sincerity and sardonic humor. Behind the glass, co-founder Eric Stewart drove the experimentation, while engineer Peter Tattersall helped fine-tune every subtle breath and echo. When released on Mercury Records, it hides a nasty stain. This single immediately distinguished itself from rock radio's usual fare, becoming a soft pop classic whose influence extended far beyond its original run. The recording's lasting power is etched into not only playlists, but the very lexicon of pop production. Number 9, Love Machine, Part 1 by The Miracles. Detroit's Motown legacy was in transition by 1975, but the Miracles managed to catch dance floors by surprise with a spicy electronic edge. Love Machine, Part 1, became a vibrant, infectious signal that the group could thrive even after Smokey Robinson's departure. With Billy Griffin out front, this groove-heavy track swirled disco innovation and R&B tradition, peaking at number 1 on the charts that year. Veteran producer Freddie Perrin brought his signature touch, leveraging slick synthesizer hooks over a rhythm designed to keep hips moving all night. Despite the personnel changes, audiences responded by making this single a massive crossover. It held party rooms and radio listeners in the palm of its hand. Released on Motown's Tamla label, the song remains a testament to the magic that happens when artists reinvent themselves without losing the essence of their core sound. Number 8, December 1963, Oh What a Night by the Four Seasons. By the mid-70s, the Four Seasons had already cemented themselves as pop icons. But December 1963, Oh What a Night, reintroduced their sound to a whole new generation. This breezy single, brimming with nostalgia, marked a distinct pivot away from the vocal group's earlier style and showcased drummer Jerry Polsey on lead vocals. Released late in 1975, it slowly climbed the charts, eventually hitting number 1 the following year, a testament to its infectious charm and irresistible groove. Bob Gaudio, one of the band's founding members, co-wrote and produced the track, infusing it with modern disco flourishes while still delivering that signature melodicism. Whenever the melody kicks in, listeners are instantly swept back to a moment in time, proof of the group's ability to stay relevant and always invite fans out onto the floor, no matter the decade. Number 7, Fame by David Bowie. Studio doors in New York City flung open in 1975 to the sound of musical worlds colliding as David Bowie linked up with John Lennon and guitarist Carlos Alomar. This collision produced Fame, a single steeped in funk swagger and satirical bite. Released on RCA Records, the song shot to #1 on the charts, marking Bowie's first time reaching that summit in the United States. Under Alomar's riff-driven foundation and Lennon's sly vocal support, the track dissected celebrity obsessions with a sharp edge and an irresistible groove. Bowie's fascination with American soul and funk is evident in every syncopated beat, bridging British glam and New York's club heat. The result was not only a dance floor favorite, but also a statement track that testified to Bowie's chameleonic genius, continually pushing boundaries while reflecting the turbulent cultural ethos of mid-decade America. Number 6, Shining Star by Earth, Wind and Fire. Sun-drenched California studios buzzed with creative synergy as Earth, Wind and Fire recorded Shining Star, a beacon of positivity and powerhouse musicianship. This exuberant track, released in early 1975, quickly found its way to #1 on the charts, burnishing the band's legacy and bringing their genre-blurring sound to audiences everywhere. Maurice White and the group merged funk, soul, and rock into something truly transcendent, working closely with Columbia Records. The guitar riff by Al Mccoy became instantly recognizable, and the brass sections punched through radio speakers with undeniable energy. Listeners, captivated by the song's optimism, embraced it as an anthem for ambition and joy. "50 years later, this piece not only remains a staple of celebration, but also stands as a luminous example of the band's influence on everything from pop to hip-hop. We're halfway through, and the sounds of 1975 are already bringing back some deep cuts. Which of these songs did you grow up with? Or maybe discover years later on a dusty record or random playlist? Got a favorite song we didn't include? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear the tracks that stuck with you. We're halfway through, and the sounds of 1975 are already bringing back some deep cuts. Which of these songs did you grow up with? Or maybe discover years later on a dusty record or random playlist? Got a favorite song we didn't include? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear the tracks that stuck with you. Number 5, Philadelphia Freedom by the Elton John Band.
If the cause is right, I'd leave.
When Elton John and lyricist Bernie Taupin set out to capture the spirit of Billie Jean King's tennis team, the result was a radiant, horn-driven anthem that dominated radio waves in the spring of 1975. Philadelphia Freedom soared to #1 on the charts, exemplifying John's remarkable versatility and the tight musicianship of his band. Recorded swiftly but with surgical precision, the track was released as a standalone single on MCA Records and never actually appeared on a traditional Elton John studio album at the time, giving it a unique place in the artist's catalog. Producer Gus Dudgeon, who had steered many Elton John classics, ensured that the orchestration sparkled and the rhythm section swung with infectious confidence. Fans quickly claimed this single as a staple of the year's soundtrack, infusing celebrations and memories with its triumphant brass and unmistakable hooks. Number 4, That's the Way, I Like It by KC and the Sunshine Band. Down in Hialeah, Florida, a warehouse-turned-studio was transformed by the constant motion of disco and funk innovation, producing what became an instant classic. That's the Way, I Like It by KC and the Sunshine Band. Released on TK Records and co-written by Harry Wayne Casey and Richard Finch, this infectious tune cemented the group's role as architects of dance floors everywhere. In 1975, it briefly reigned at #1 on the charts, and its relentless groove and catchy hooks made it a favorite at clubs and block parties across the country and beyond.
When you don't stop, when you shoot, you shout.
The song's punchy horn lines and tightly locked percussion underscored not just the hit's appeal, but also the relentless energy that defined a pivotal era in dance music. As disco swept the globe, this single helped to lead the charge, and its feel-good spirit remains unmistakable decades later. Number 3, The Hustle by Mccoy and the Soul City Symphony. "1975's dance floors sparkled with innovation, and no instrumental better captured that moment than The Hustle. Mccoy and the Soul City Symphony crafted this enduring hit in just a single studio session, blending energetic flute lines and rhythmic strings under the keen production of Hugo and Luigi. The record's pulse was irresistible, propelling it to #1 on the charts and making it a cultural touchstone for disco's golden age. Inspired by the dance craze sweeping New York, Mccoy turned an urban movement into a national sensation, both in nightclubs and suburban living rooms. Released under the Avco label, the record's orchestration ushered in a wave of similarly lush arrangements, signaling a shift in how pop and R&B artists approached their soundtracks for the era. Even today, its buoyant melody and propulsive groove are shorthand for the optimism and unity of mid-70s nightlife. Number 2, Jive Talkin by Bee Gees. Urban Miami's causeways provided the literal beat for Bee Gees' dazzling Jive Talkin in 1975 when the thumping sound of car tires crossing a bridge inspired its relentless, funky rhythm. With the Gibb brothers pivoting into fresh territory, this single, produced by Arif Mardin for RSO Records, marked their dramatic reinvention as dance floor powerhouses. As the group experimented with synthesizers and new vocal textures, the song rocketed to #1 on the charts and announced a defining shift, not only for the Bee Gees themselves, but for pop music writ large. Listeners across generations have recognized the single's stuttering groove and falsetto-driven hooks as harbingers of the coming disco wave. Its success paved the way for an unforgettable run of hits, solidifying the Bee Gees' influence as global shapers of musical taste and trend. Number 1, Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille. The pop landscape of 1975 was forever changed when husband and wife duo Captain and Tennille released their buoyant cover of Neil Sedaka's tune, Love Will Keep Us Together. Driven by Daryl Dragon's crisp keyboard work and Tony Tennille's warm, engaging vocals, this single quickly claimed #1 on the charts and became the year's most celebrated song. Issued by A&M Records, it was produced by the duo themselves, giving every element a personal, approachable touch. Their version breathed new life into Sedaka's original, transforming it into a bombastic, radio-friendly anthem that dominated both airwaves and living room stereo systems. The infectious, uplifting energy of the recording earned the duo the coveted Record of the Year Grammy, cementing its place in pop history. As an enduring emblem of infectious optimism, this hit remains a classic for couples, families, and anyone craving a sing-along moment. Think of me, babe, whenever